Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We've got Tuesdays with Charlie coming up later in the show, so that's always exciting. Think we'll learn anything interesting today?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I think we always learn something interesting.
Yeah, we always do. Hey, I got a quote for you. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. Who said that?
I don't know.
Zig Ziglar. He's got a lot of good quotes. Hey, the Dallas Library has so many complaints about homeless people living there, they passed a new rule and will eject people who don't smell good now. So now there's somebody at the library in Dallas that has to go, yeah, you can come in.
Huh.
Wouldn't that be an awful job?
I don't think that's very nice.
No, it's not
I mean,
nice.
if homeless people can have a library card,
Yeah,
there's
if they
no
wanna
reason
come
they
in and
can't
read a
go
book.
in and read.
But I guess they had enough complaints about people who hang out too much, and they're like, yeah, now if you stink, we tell you to leave. So I wonder how many non-homeless people will get kicked out just for stinking.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Tuesdays with Charlie coming up later in the program. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, March the 28th. Today is American Diabetes Association Alert Day. Yeah, it's also Barnum and Bailey Day. I know what she's going to say. Go ahead and say it.
I don't need to say it.
What were you going to say?
I love elephants.
I knew that. It is also Be Mad Day today. It is Weed Appreciation Day today. So for those of you who are out there pulling weeds this spring, appreciate those weeds.
You think that's the kind of weed
Probably
they're talking
not.
about?
I'm just, throwing that out there. It is also Virtual Advocacy Day. So if you want to be an advocate, just, virtually do it today and you'll be good. I have no clue what most of that means. Be Mad Day is the only one I really understand. And I don't want to do that. I want to be happy. So I'm going to be happy.
You'd be mad because Barnum and Bailey got rid of the elephants.
Yeah, that really upset Heidi. She was so upset.
I am so upset.
She said, I'll never go to the circus again.
I really won't. There's no point.
Now it's just a bunch of clowns.
Yeah, if I want to see drunken clowns, I can go to the shrine any weekday.
What you just
Don't need to pay admission to go to the circus.
Thanks for listening on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
How much do you pay for cable or satellite? Don't forget your DVR rental fees and online movie accounts. When you add it all up, many people are paying well over $100 a month. Some pay way more. What if you could cut that down to zero? There's a device that surfs the net to find shows and programs you like with no monthly fee. Many have already cut their cable or tossed out their dish. If you have internet and a TV, you're all set. Learn more about this awesome technology that can save you money every month at channelsurfertv.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 25% at channelsurfertv.com.
It's true because you heard it on the radio. A German businessman says he has come up with a cure for the common cold, Heidi.
Okay.
I mean, this is something they've been looking for hundreds of years. Have you ever thought about the fact, they don't have a cure for the common cold?
I don't worry about it because a cold lasts, a day,
No,
maybe
how
2?
long do you think a cold lasts? How many hours? Typical one.
I don't know.
If you're
couple
going to
of
say
days.
Okay.
48 hours.
You almost said the right number. All right, I'm going to read the story to you, and then I'm going to have my own little 2 cents on this. Alexander Lashke says you can stop your coughing, aching, sneezing, achy head feelings by sticking copper in your nose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He said he found this healing capacity of copper while growing tomatoes, and then said, he placed copper rings on his tomato canes to help the plants grow, while other gardeners found theirs were rotting, his were thriving. And then he had some brainiac idea and said, hey, if it helps grow tomatoes,
I'm going to shove this up my nose.
Why not stick some copper up my nose? It says, seriously, he thought, I'm going to try this on myself the next time he got a cold, and he was better within 36 hours.
36 hours?
It's not exactly the quick. Okay. He consulted experts on the common cold and found that copper rings help get more air into the nostrils, and they also combat microorganisms. Lashke is now selling copper rings for about $10 each to anybody that'll buy them. Here's the thing. You can either jam the copper up your nose or just wait 36 hours. I don't think it takes more than 36 hours for it to just go away.
That's fascinating.
I don't know. Good luck to you there. I don't know. Next time I get a cold, I'm going to have to time it out and see how long does this last. I mean, because maybe I need to get some copper jammed up my nose.
Wow.
I don't think I'm going to be one of those people to buy it. But you know what? It's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. When authorities warned Paul Schwartztrauber Jr. not to drink and drive, they should have been a little more clear that also applied to his lawnmower, another person who got in trouble for this. Because we had a guy not too long ago that got in trouble for this too. This guy is a 46-year-old. He was pulled over in Fairview Heights, Illinois, charged with riding his lawnmower on a public street while intoxicated with a revoked license. Now, this one goes on because he had a little more than the last guy had. Last guy was just driving recklessly. But police say he had 2 previous DUI convictions, and this time he had his 1-year-old daughter on his lap.
Oh, my God.
He refused to stop and shouted obscenities at the patrol car when they arrived to respond to a complaint about a man driving erratically on a lawnmower in the street. What was your dad doing that day? No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't do that. Anyway, eventually one of the officers walked over and turned off the engine. That's how they finally got him to start. When your high-speed chase can be stopped by a man walking over and just turning a key, maybe you shouldn't have been doing that.
John and Heidi.
We have talked before about something similar to this. We've talked first let me tell you the story. Albany, New York is where we're going to go. It's for your moment of duh. Firefighters were tearing apart a minivan as part of a training exercise. That's when somebody noticed, wait a minute, there's stuff in this minivan. They took the jaws of life to the wrong vehicle. We talked about one where they burned a house down.
Yeah.
Fire department in a different community. They were doing a controlled burn. They burned down the wrong house. Some guy got home from his vacations like, what happened to my house? Well, this guy came out of the place and his minivan was being chopped up. Officials say firefighters routinely practice on accident scenes. They use rescue techniques by tearing open donated junk cars. This time, they were supposed to practice on an older vehicle located in another part of the junkyard. They were practicing in the parking lot for the employees. They used the jaws of life to tear open a 3-year-old minivan. Oh, my goodness. It was there to undergo repairs. The owner of the junkyard admitted its role in the mistake, and they're splitting the cost of the van with the fire department. So, wow. So you guys done with my van? Yeah, about that. We're going to get you a new van.
Looking for a
junker
minivan, and they
decide
decide to pick apart that one.
3 years
crazy.
old. Wow, that's not good. Hey, we've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. Researchers say the best age to walk down the aisle is what age, Heidi?
Oh, 24.
Close, 26. How old were we when we got married? I'd say real close to that.
Pretty close to that.
I think here.
23, 24.
Yeah, like that, right in that neighborhood. So, hey, knuckles on that one. Boom. They say 26. That number comes from Algorithms to Live By, a computer science human decision program, whatever that is, written by journalist Brian Christian and cognitive science scientist Tom Griffiths.
All right.
So, and there's some love involved too, I hope. I don't know.
You would hope so.
A Japanese astronaut on the International Space Station began testing a pair of special no-smell underwear. It says this happened on this date in 2009. Planned to wear the special antibacterial polymer pants for 7 days. The underwear was developed by Japanese researchers trying to create clothing and reduce smells to absorb sweat and provide insulation. So in 2009, on this date, they were working on some special newfangled no-smell underwear in space.
You know what I think somebody should invent?
What should they invent?
Underwear with dog repellent built into it. Because anytime I'm around a dog tall enough to reach his nose into my crotch, it's right in my crotch, and I hate it.
Dog repellent?
Yeah, if you could have some odor that they hate that they run away from, I would wear those things
walking
everywhere.
Around, dogs jumping out of the way. I don't know what she's got in her pants. I don't like this one. I think that's a good idea. A landlord entering a vacant apartment in Sweden found himself confronted with a strong smell of urine. And then he noticed horse excrement and a bunch of hay. It was later learned that the man that he was evicting for failure to pay, he was also sharing his apartment with a live pony. Can you imagine? How is it that nobody in that apartment noticed the pony?
I like ponies.
I can't even imagine a pony living in an apartment, though. That doesn't sound good. All right. United States of America. Each state gets to set their own legal drinking limit. Like the legal, how much you're over the limit, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So 0.08 is what most states have set it at. But Utah, the governor there says, we're going to sign a bill that will make his state the first state in the nation to lower the drunk driving limit to 0.05%.
Oh.
So I think in Utah, then, it'll be illegal to drive past a bar. Is pretty much where they're going to kind of get in that range. Okay, maybe not quite.
That's crazy.
A man convicted of robbery worked out a deal to pay his $9,000 fine. So he's in the court and explains to the judge, hey, I don't want to go to jail. How about I just pay a fine? They concoct some plan. I'm going to pay a fine. How much is it? $9,000. So he provides a check that was forged. He got 10 years. He got another conviction.
Oh my
He gave them a fake
gosh.
check right there.
What an idiot.
What's it going to take, Your Honor? I got this check.
I can put a lot of numbers on this
Well,
check.
You just shout a number. Trust me, it's not going to matter to me at all. Make it as much 8,000. Why don't we round up to 9,000? Come on,
Wow.
you guys could use it. I know you need a nice little break room back there behind the court
What an
chambers.
idiot.
Thieves have stolen something that I didn't think could be stolen: a cornfield.
Okay.
Yeah, this happened in Belgium. A Belgian farmer by the name of Max Sneers woke up to discover that somebody had harvested all of his corn.
Poor guy.
Police believe it would have taken 2 hours to reap the 20 tons of corn from the field. It wasn't a huge field, 2.5 acres. That's not a big spot. So a little bit of field. Anyway, Mr. Sneers talked to neighbors and asked if they'd heard anything that night. Nobody really questioned anything because I guess in Belgium, you can harvest until 3 a.m. if the corn is not wet. So you can stay out making noise till 3 a.m., I suppose, out in the country. Police eventually found the stolen crop. It had already been sold. So there you go. The corn caper from Belgium.
That's too bad.
Coming up, we've got Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
Imagine the sand between your toes and an ice-cold drink in your hand. Join us this November for 80s in the Sand.
Week-long event with 80s music from over a dozen awesome bands.
Plus, meet 80s icons from the movies like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and several others.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
The website is 80sinthesand.com.
Book your week-long 80s vacation right now at 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Well, it's Tuesday and I'm ready to go.
Well, that's awesome.
Nice to see you last week.
Yes, you did. We saw you. Yes, and it was fun. It was good to see you.
Well, that's pretty nice. You invite me to your house and then I show up and you lock the doors and you run.
But we saw you.
We saw you. We waved. And then we said, see you later.
And if I wouldn't have had beer with me, you'd have really been in trouble.
So what kind of cool stuff are we going to learn today, Charlie?
Hey, do you like Pringles?
I do.
Yes.
Pringles are good.
Okay, they come in what, that little round can?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's a picture of a Pringles man on the can.
Yeah?
Do you know his name?
I don't know his
Paul.
Close. Julius.
How's that close?
name. Wasn't even close at all.
It's-
Oh, it was a guy's name.
well, he's got a name, after all.
You know that 5-hour energy drink?
I do. I've heard of that.
Do you know who invented that?
Who's that?
It was a monk in India. He was in India for 12 years and he invented that drink.
No kidding. I had no clue that was a monk drink.
If you live out in India and in the middle of nowhere, you probably need some energy.
I suppose, yeah.
I don't know why you'd want to live there, but oh well.
How much energy does a monk need? What do they
you
do?
know. A lot of monk stuff.
They do
Monking
monk
around.
stuff.
Just monking around. I don't know.
Speaking of India, they have a mascot named Pooh.
India has a mascot named Pooh.
Yep,
What is it?
What does he look like?
I have no idea. I'm trying to read my writing here.
Is he a little brown pile? That would be bad.
Well, okay, let me start. India has a mascot named Mr. Pooh.
Mr. Pooh.
He's a talking and dancing pile of poop that discourages people from
Defecating.
in public.
Mr. Mr. Pooh discourages people from doing that in public, huh?
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
fantastic.
Didn't know that they needed that, but apparently India is a little different than here. What do we have to keep people from doing it here?
Oh, just let her rip. Okay, hey, by body size ratio, the barnacle has the largest penis in the animal kingdom.
The barnacle does?
Really?
Oh, the barnacle is. It's got
Yeah,
a little,
they stick to the bottom of boats.
That's probably
Yep.
why.
Well, he's got something to stick with. Hey, then I got one last thing here for you.
Okay.
Let's see if we can pull this off. Researchers at the Georgia Institute of Technology discovered that all mammals over a certain size, including humans, take approximately 21 seconds to pee under normal conditions.
We actually read that one time. Heidi and I did. And
Oh, then it's true.
it is true. And here's the thing. I actually counted, and it's true. At least for me.
Did that?
It is not true for you.
Oh, not in the middle of the night, yeah. There are times that she'll laugh because it's almost like that, what was that movie,
the
Naked
Naked Gun.
Where he's peeing
he
for
went
like
to the
2
bathroom,
minutes.
forgot he has his microphone on. It's just like that for John. It's ridiculous.
Only if I've been drinking a lot, but you know, tons of. I've been trying to drink more water lately, so.
Do I need a stopwatch in for this, or
No,
can
you
I just...
just count it out. For you might have to count really fast. You go in there a lot.
I can't hold a stopwatch because you got to take both hands.
Oh, you're part barnacle. That's the thing.
A lot of pressure comes out. It's like a fire hose. I got to watch it.
Oh boy. You ready for a question here, Charlie?
I think I could do it this time.
All right. Here's a good question for you. In Chicago, they have more red light cameras than any other city in the United States. How many red light cameras do you think they have in Chicago?
1,500.
No, it's not that many. It's 306.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very many for Chicago.
Yeah, but that's the most in the entire United States. I don't know how many they have in any other place, really.
Well, I don't either. Now we know.
Now we know. There you go. Well,
That's why we have this program, so people can be informed and learn stuff.
they learn things that, you know, they don't necessarily need to know, but they want to know.
That the average person would never know unless we told them.
Exactly.
This is true.
And that's why we do it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're actually nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize this year, I believe, for our work in education. Probably not.
It's amazing what a Bloody Mary does in the morning, isn't it?
Well, Charlie, you have a good day. It was nice talking to you.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye,
right.
Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstein did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The most favoritist ink color for bingo players is what color?
For the daubers?
Yeah, when you're the daubers, the ink daubers.
Pink.
No, it's purple. Yeah, suppliers say purple is by far, in quotes, the favorite ink color for bingo players. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
On this day in April of 1930, the BBC reported, quote, "There is no news," end quote, and then played piano music for the rest of the broadcast.
Okay.
Can you imagine having no news? There's nothing going on. That was a news director that was just running late for work. They get there and like, what do I do? There's no news. I'm going to just play this song now. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A Canadian psychologist is selling a video that teaches you how to test your dog's IQ. Why can't we
I
get
think
in
it's
on these
actually
things?
more of a people IQ tester because if you bought this video, that pretty much tells you all you need to
we
know.
need to get in on these things. Hey, we're going to sell a video on how to test your parakeet's IQ. It'll be like $95.
Wow.
All right. And final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There is a moment of time. A moment is an actual unit of time. You know how long it is? A moment is 1.5 minutes. So 90 seconds. So it says, wait a moment. 90 seconds later, you can just leave. A couple of fun facts for you on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of the same old 9-to-5 rat race? Sick of not controlling your financial destiny? We partner with a leading health company whose mission is to support you to build a home-based business and help others be healthier, drop excess pounds, and live longer, more rewarding lives. Best of all, everyone who joins after you is placed on your team. No bugging family or friends. Call 866-741-7242 for more information. Or if you'd like, text the word income to the same number, 866-741-7242. 866-741-7242.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. If you feel awful, your head is stuffy, and you have a sore throat, and you're shivering, is it a cold?
Shove some copper up your nose.
Or is it flu? Yeah, if you were listening earlier, there's a guy that says that's what you do. And then you'll only be better in 36 hours, which is about how long you'll be better if you don't take anything. Anyway, is it a cold or is it flu? Should you take cold meds, or should you power through it, or should you call in sick, or should you go to bed? Well, Dr. Peter Hibbard, MD, told Newsmax Health, whoever that is, the best way to distinguish between a cold and a flu is a rapid test your doctor can give you in the office. Okay. However, clinical symptoms can help you figure this out before you even call a physician. Here's what you look for. They say, if it's a cold, you'll likely have nasal congestion. So, like stuffy nose. And remind me to come back to stuffy nose in a minute, okay?
Okay.
A minor sore throat, a dry cough, and possibly low-grade fever. All of those things, again, go with a cold. The common cold typically comes and goes in about 6 days. Oh, wow, 6 days. So that 36-hour copper up the nose thing.
Whatever.
And a few of us suffer any complications. So sometimes you have a cold and you don't even really know it. When you get a cold, you can usually go to work because it says it's a mild illness. And if it's the flu, though, you're going to experience sudden onset of overall body aches, over 100-degree fever, Fahrenheit, cough, congestion, nausea, weakness, loss of appetite, and even vomiting. Influenza is a serious illness, and so serious it is difficult to go to work because you're too weak to go, and you could get other people sick. So that's what the difference is between the two. So I'm going to come back to the stuffy nose thing now. Something I learned just over the weekend. I don't remember where I learned it. But they said, if you have a stuffy nose, you know how to get rid of a stuffy nose? I haven't tried this, so I don't know if it's a good idea. They said you're supposed to hold your breath. Hold your breath for a long time, and it'll actually make your nasal passages, like it's your body saying, I need air, and it'll help.
I think that's a very bad idea. Don't listen to John.
I heard that, and I think it's true. I'm going to try it next time. Next time I have what was it again? A stuffy nose. Yeah, that's the one. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
How much do you pay for cable or satellite? Don't forget your DVR rental fees and online movie accounts. When you add it all up, many people are paying well over $100 a month. Some pay way more. What if you could cut that down to zero? There's a device that surfs the net to find shows and programs you like with no monthly fee. Many have already cut their cable or tossed out their dish. If you have internet and a TV, you're all set. Learn more about this awesome technology that can save you money every month at channelsurfertv.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 25% at channelsurfertv.com. All right, this is sad. A charity was giving free car washes for donations, and they got in trouble because of, not the car wash, because of their sign. Have you ever stopped by a charitable organization where they were washing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so people were doing that in donations. That's, in Brisbane, Australia, apparently that's not a good thing. In Brisbane, or Brisbane, or however you say it, a group was doing the very same thing, trying to raise money to help a humanitarian assistance in China. One problem, the group had a sign in the parking lot advertising the free car washes, and that violated the city's sign ordinance. So the police slapped the group with a $350 fine.
Wow.
Why couldn't they have given them a warning? That would have been nice. The local government then seized all of the money the group had made. All they had left for the entire day's work was $100. So $350 fine, and then a bunch of other money. All they had left, $100 for washing cars all day.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not very nice. So it's the way they treat you there in Brisbane, Australia. Brisbane, whatever it is. That place down under. Heidi, it says weighing yourself daily can tip the scale in your favor. Step on the bathroom scale every morning and keep track of your results. A simple cost-free strategy that not only can help you shed pounds, but also helps you keep them off, according to researchers from Cornell University. And it works especially well for men. According to the study, found those who lost weight during the first year of a diet program were able to maintain that weight loss throughout the second year. And it's important because studies show about 40% of weight loss with any dietary treatment comes back within a year, and almost 100% of weight loss is regained at the end of 5 years. So they're saying by standing on the scale and looking down and seeing that number every day, you'll know when you start veering off course.
Yeah.
I've done that. You know when I realize I'm off course? When I button my pants and it cuts off the circulation of my legs. I'm like, okay, maybe I should lose weight again.
I know without even standing on the scale that I'm veering off course. I don't really need to do
It is a good idea.
But I just keep going anyway.
Unless, of course, you step on the scale one day and it says overload. That's not good.
That's not good.
Don't do that.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstone did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
It's the most stressful day of the week. What day of the week do you think is the most stressful day, Heidi?
Tuesday.
How did you know that?
Because we've talked about this.
Have we really?
before.
When did we talk about this?
I don't know.
Was it on a Tuesday?
I don't know.
Today it is. Hey, a lot of people would think Mondays. Ooh, you got a case of the Mondays. Ooh. Well, no, it's actually the Tuesdays that we should be talking about. It says here, no matter where you work or what you do, chances are you'll get more stress on Tuesday than you will any other day of the week. And if you want to know what time, 11:45 a.m. That's the word from researchers in the United Kingdom. And this company works on health supplements, whatever they do there. Conventional wisdom would tell you Monday is the most stressful day, but most workers coast through Monday, spending the day getting their brain in gear and catching up with gossip from the weekend. And, oh, what'd you do this? Oh, you did this, you did that. Anyway, and a lot of people, they say there's a huge spike in social networking sites on Mondays. So people are online. They're like, hey, I've been away from the computer all weekend. Now that I'm back on the clock, I'm going to get caught up on Facebook. Anyway, they say 53% of those polled admitted they don't do a whole lot of work on Monday. 10% said they spent a lot of time on that day on Facebook and Twitter. And they're saying the most stressful day for a lot of people is Tuesday. And I think that's a good reason to have Tuesdays with Charlie on Tuesdays.
Yeah, lighten things up a bit.
If we had Tuesdays with Charlie on any other day, it just wouldn't make sense.
No, especially since it's called Tuesdays with Charlie.
Exactly. So Tuesday is the day. Today is the day. You're supposed to just kick back and relax a little bit because we're all stressed out. So here's what I encourage you to do. Don't share everything on Facebook on Monday. Save some of it for Tuesday. Spread it around a little bit. That might help a little. All right, coming up in a bit, we've got some interesting good news for you. It's Romeo and Juliet. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Have you ever heard of this story before?
Yeah.
Who's the one that came up with that story?
Shakespeare.
There you go, Shakespeare. Heidi's good. You're good. Well, perhaps the most famous love story of all time is those other ones.
Romeo?
They're caramels. No, Romeo and Juliet, the two star-crossed lovers whose intense love led to their own deaths. Shakespeare is the one that put that together. But now, there is another Romeo and Juliet story, and this one is really kind of a cool thing. Monday evening, Christina Schieflet and Alan Umana welcomed their daughter Juliet into the world. Meanwhile, in the room right next door, Morgan and Edwin Hernandez had a newborn baby boy. Guess what his name was? Romeo. And they didn't even know each other. It wasn't until they were sitting next to each other in the little baby area there, and it's Romeo and Juliet, born 18 hours apart in the same hospital, delivered by the same doctor. The parents said they'd never met before. They had no idea of the coincidence until somebody there pointed it out. It said, we picked the name.
Where was this?
This was in California, I believe. Coastal Carolina Hospital in South Carolina. I was
wonder
way
if
off.
they're going to have an arranged marriage.
But take a listen. Here, I think you're going to love this. Guess where the name Juliet came from?
I have no idea.
Our favorite TV show was Psych. And there's a character named Jules, which is Juliet. So that's where they came up with Juliet. Had nothing to do with Romeo and Juliet. Guess where Romeo came from?
Where?
There was a singer by the name of, a singer named Romeo Santos. And they said, we love Romeo Santos. So they named him. So just coincidentally, they named Romeo after this Romeo. They named Juliet after that Juliet. And they happen to be born 18 hours apart, rooms right next to each other by the same doctor. I think it's cool. I've got a link to this.
We need to watch Psych again.
I know. We've got every episode, don't we?
Every episode.
There's something we can do. We'll binge watch that tonight.
Sounds good.
Date night. All right. If you want to read the Romeo and Juliet story and watch the video, it's pretty darn cool. It's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.